Peace, love, and harmony, everybody. It's me, Maris, Mystic Maris, and been hiding. Yeah, kind of. Now I've been having to go into some deep meditation and do some clearing and um, letting some things go. Working on self as I help others to work on themselves. And kind of also just enjoying the weather. I won't lie, I really enjoy the weather. I really enjoy the weather. I have just this edge, this like nudging for the last couple of hours to do a reading. So I know, and I'm just like, well, it's Thursday, we can kind of think about it being part of the weekend. And working on that. So I was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. So make sure you grab your favorite beverage. I'm drinking water. I'm trying to incorporate more water into my routine. I really love Sprite. I was drinking like tons of teas for a while, and then I was having heartburn all the time, and they said, well, the tannin in the tea sometimes causes heartburn and kidney stones. And since I stopped drinking those, I don't have kidney stones. So, knock on wood. That's real wood, too. Alright, so we're using the Angels and the Ancestors deck today. The one where my boyfriend is. I love that deck. And so that's the deck that we're going to be using. I'm going to do a really good little shuffly thing here to them, just to kind of clear them. And then we also, how about a smudge? Anybody want to get smudged? I've got my smudge sticks here, so let's do that too. That's a good idea. So, how's everybody's week been? Is everybody having a good week? Is everybody having a good week? Good things happening? Weird energy. One of the things, a lot of the my friends and colleagues that are spiritualists, they're like, have you noticed the shift? And I'm like, oh yes. Hey Amanda, how are you? And I'm like, oh yes, I sure have noticed the shift. I said, but it's like somewhat kind of a weird, subtle energy. It's not like a wham bam in your face until it is like literally there in your face. Okay, so I'm trying to, there we go. Alright, so here's a smudging for everybody. Just kind of put your hands to your screen and, kind of do like this. Hey, tell Hope I said hello, and pull it. That way you're absorbing some of that smudge on that energetic field, that energetic frequency. Oh yeah, we'll be having a new little show coming up very soon on Instagram, and maybe TikTok too. It's the Hillbilly Hippie Bitches Chicks, but I was referred to as a bitch. So, but everybody said, don't use bitch. You're not a bitch. She just thinks you're a bitch. She thinks that you're a bitch because, and this was something that I kind of already knew, was that often people, I irritate their demons, and I'm using the word demons in quotation marks, and sometimes that's so people can heal. And they forget that deep down, I love everybody. I love them just as they are, quirky and weird, just like me. Quirky and weird, just like you. So, anyway, but let's move on and let's see what the vibe is going on. Okay, there's one. Around us, and so I'm kind of looking on a global. What's going on with this energy shift? Is this energy shift going to become very, what I'm going to say, apparent or in your face? There we go. Whoops. Okay. hold on. One fell down. I want to, don't go away. And, and what happens through, okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so, okay, so I hope you guys, do you have your drink? Do you have your snacky wacky? You know, or a wacky snacky, whichever way you want to look at it. Because we got several cards to look at. And let's take a look at the very first card. This energy is really interesting. That first card that we're looking at is the Shaman card. Let me bring this up a little bit bigger. Okay, and what do we got? We have this owl. We have a balance of, even in the antlers, we have a balance in the antlers. Everything is in balance. So this is a higher purpose, because we're looking at the shaman. He is the one that takes us on this spiritual journey and is a part of our spiritual journey. And in that, we are to be connecting, grounding and connecting within our spiritual practice or our spiritual realm. What is your spiritual realm? So this is, so when we look at things happening around us, it's kind of like when you're watching one of those movies and things just kind of magically appear. Things of other realms become a lot more apparent in what we are doing and where we are, and what is surrounding us. So this is going to be one of these very intense spiritual energies coming in. For some, it's an epiphany. Now, on this card, I kind of took it a little bit personal, but I'm gonna tell you what my interpretation is of this next card. Okay, this next card is the Peacekeeper, and the Peacekeeper is talking about making peace, of course, coming together, a collaboration, an agreement. And I'm not going to say it's always win-win, but each side has a sense of concession. Each side has a sense of concession. So it's a very interesting card through there. And sometimes we don't have to own the whole... Sometimes you don't have to eat the whole damn pizza, that you can share that pizza and everybody is fulfilled and nourished from that. That's the best way to describe that. And this is in my position, which, you know, when I read cards and I look at these cards, and it's like a big shuffle of them, not just three. The second card is usually talking about the obstacles. So we're going to look at this, and I'm going to say it like this. It is not like you're giving up your rights. You're just working on modifying the boundaries of what you will and won't tolerate out of a particular situation or relationship. Now, on this is is the third card on a multi, and I look at this card as being the help or the assistance in the energy that's coming in. Like, what is the good part? What is the pro of it? And I'm like, and when you see the Guardian Angel card and you see it in the upright position, what we're looking at is like, oh man, your angels are walking with you, your spirit guides are with you, something along that lines. And then when we see it in a reversed position, it is, yeah, they're with you, but you're kind of on your own. Why would you be on your own? Okay, there's many reasons that you can be on your own. You could be going against, um, you could be going against the things that you know are correct or right or appropriate in your path. Okay, and it's kind of like crying wolf. If you play the victim card over and over and over again, when you really are in a bad situation and you need help getting out of it, or you need a little nurturing, or maybe recognition, something along that lines, but you've burnt out that ability to ask for it, that's what this is in reference to. So it's kind of like, yeah, I know they're on the sidelines, but you're kind of walking that tightrope on your own. The net isn't there today. There might be one of those little things that'll catch you real quick, but the net is not underneath the tightrope. So you're kind of out on that limb, and you're going to have to learn how to fly. In essence, how you're going to keep yourself, above. Now, this card is really interesting. This is the Air Guardian. And air, like water, is very, very fluid. But, and both air and water can also be cut off. But when we look at the Air Guardian, and what I like is that she's showing us both of her eyes through there. So this is a very concentrated effort. But what it is talking about is shifting your perspective, seeing it from a different perspective, or a different, I'm going to say different attitude. Looking at things from a different attitude. You're working through where you're having to modify your rules of engagement, or modify your boundaries a little bit. And in that, somebody gains and somebody loses. But in other areas, they may gain what you lose, and vice versa through there. So it's not always a win-loss. It's we win in different ways. And that's what this card is kind of talking about, is that we have this ability here to look at things from a different perspective and see the value in what is actually occurring around us. A lot of times we'll think, oh my God, I've had all of this negative crap going on. It's like I'm arguing with my spouse. My kids are, having issues in school or with school, if they're doing that online stuff, and they're having a hard time adjusting with that. Some kids like to be tactile and like to be doing things, and I don't know, does the computer even keep them entertained long enough, on a Zoom? Hell, I don't know. But anyway, going back to this is that we have to look at things from a different perspective, and sometimes we're asked to, and sometimes we're shoved into looking at things from a different perspective. I also look at looking at things with a different perspective as also an indicator of discernment. How deep do you look into something? Do you look at things just as that superficial top layer, or do you look deep down into why and how particular situations occur, particular relationships develop? What are all of the little factors in things? Not the minutia, because the minutia is like dust. It's like black stuff. But the factors, the little pieces that actually build up into situations, events, or relationships, people. So it kind of gives us a different way to look at things, Sometimes my friends will go, am I looking too deep into this? Honey, we never look too deep into anything. There's always subliminal, or always these energetic messages that are given to us. Even when people paint pictures or take a photograph, and the way that they display or exhibit that photograph is an example of what vibration or energy that they were feeling at that very given moment. So let's take a look at the next card, because this is really very interesting what is coming up. Okay, so what are we looking at? We are looking at the she-wolf. And what is the she-wolf? This is that inner self, that we struggle with every day to contain yet retain, because it's almost this vibration of inspiration. It's thinking of that real gentle mother. She's really gentle with her baby. She's really great with other kids. She's a really good friend, a really nice person, but you mess with that woman, or you mess with one of her kids, and you see this totally different side of them. And that is actually our intrinsic true self. I mean, yes, we work very hard to contain that, but not holding on to that sense of primitive energy almost takes away what I'm going to say, our free will, and a lot of our vibration, our divine feminine energy through that. And I keep getting, well, that's what makes us a Stepford wife. So when we give up that primitive self, we give up our free will, is what I'm going to, kind of allude to on that. And when we give up our free will, then we're very robotic and routine. And, that's where we find a lot of unhappiness. Again, we are looking at feminine energy again. We have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess, has a lot of energy, has a lot of vibe, has a lot of power, has a lot of control. But I want to talk about something here. Let's talk about control. I'm not talking about manipulation or manipulative control. I'm talking about control of self, control of energy, control of vibration, control of a situation, going in, stepping in, taking lead. That's what I'm referring to. It is not a manipulative, as in a bad, negative, manipulative energy. This is where I got that little song from the 70s. I don't know if y'all remember it. 'Cause I'm a woman. I can't even remember what the little body spray or something was. And they had a song that says, I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never, ever, ever let you forget you're a man because I'm a woman. And then I guess it was Gina Tay, or I don't know, some kind of spray. But it was that energy of, kind of like the she-wolf. Let's go back to what Amanda said. That she-wolf, that energy. Because, that she-wolf, you come and mess with one of her little pumpkins, she's going to come all out on you on that. And that's like, I'm getting a boom, boom, boom. Think of that energy. She can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and, never let her lover know that she's an only woman. I don't know. Something like that. So, yes, this harnessing your mystic power is about gaining control. But more importantly, it is about gaining control over your life and what you've got going on in your vibration. It's a really important time. It's a very, very spiritual energy. A lot of what I call daddy energy, or daddy energy, or big G energy coming through. So there's a lot of things that will be coming up to the surface that we have to confront and work on. Some things that we're going to have to do a little concession or a little concede to, and other things that we're going to gain tons of blessing and bounty with. Yep, Mama Bear. That's that energy, that mama bear energy. She's real loving with her cubs, but don't mess with them. All right. So, what else? Unlocking the magic within, but we've got this in an upside down position. So, I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to say it like this. Don't expect luck to be your friend. And I'm not your lucky charm. I'm not your lucky charm. You don't have any lucky charms right now. This is all going to be about effort and what you put forth, and what you're sending out through the universe will be what you receive. It's you're not having a big sense of the Midas touch, and some people are like, damn, and I'm like, that's okay, because what it really is this ability to really demonstrate to yourself what your value is, who you are, and what you're capable of, and not holding back on some of those beautiful, beautiful dreams on that. There's a lot more going on around us than what we're giving credit to. And there's a lot that's going on that we are giving a little sense of credit to, but we don't always share that information. It's not like you have to understand that when there is a lot of energy or a lot of spiritual energy going on, like the spiritual shift coming in, we saw in the very beginning with the shaman card, things aren't always what they seem. That sometimes they'll be told in an allegory or a story. So it's really important to look at the vibration behind the messages to really determine what those messages really are, if that makes any sense for you. It makes sense to me because it's more about it's more about looking again deeper, using that discernment, because superficially or on the outside they're not always what they indicate that they will be. All right. This is a real interesting card. Because the message I'm getting on this one is not all medicine is good medicine. Not all medicine is good medicine. Does that make sense to you? Not all medicine is good medicine. Sometimes what we think is good medicine is really bad medicine and not a good idea. So be very mindful about the medicine, and I'm going to use that term across the board or metaphorically. Be very mindful of the medicine that you imbibe on. Be very mindful of the medicine that you imbibe on. Okay. And I'm supposed to say that one more time with you looking in my eyes. Be very mindful of the medicine that you imbibe on. I'm getting that a really strong message on that particular card with that. This is a really interesting card, and let me bring it in a little closer. It's the Mirror Guardian, and the Mirror Guardian, I talk about doing mirror work, and that's like when you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, oh, I personally believe in telling myself, affirmations, like olive juice. If you're afraid to say, I love you to the mirror, you can say, you can say olive juice, because when you mouth olive juice, it looks just like. So, you can kind of start mouthing that, and then one day you're comfortable saying I love you, and you say I love you, and you're the queen or king of your mirror work, right? Okay, well, this is card is talking about that mirror work, that pumping yourself up, and the importance of doing that, because this is a strong indicator that you've been spending a lot more time dogging yourself and almost indirectly or passive-aggressively been talking a lot of shish, a lot of minutia to yourself. And instead of giving yourself a lot of love and kudos in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, I want you to start thinking, what is the favorite part of my reflection? Is it your smile? Is it your eyes? Is it the way you did your hair? Is it how great your complexion looks? Is it the vibration or the light that you're seeing in your reflection in the mirror? Okay, so this is about you need to do some mirror work. Start looking in that mirror. I love yous are wonderful. Every day I tell myself in the mirror, I love you. And I often tell myself at least a couple of things about myself that I really love. Like, oh, your hair looks so beautiful. I love your hair. Oh my God. Your, what did I say? Your eyebrows are totally fleck. Whatever the hell that fleck means, but it sounds cool, right? So I tell myself things to pump up my vibration and help me find that inner beauty that I know exists. Even though it might be on the outside, it seems like I'm not very beautiful. Meaning that sometimes people's perceptions, I irritate the demons in people. Okay, that's my job. My job is to irritate the demons inside of you so that you get up and fix whatever that is. Sometimes I have no clue that I'm irritating your demons. And it's just that I say something or I do something and people get upset. And so when we are that kind of person, or you're, as I tell all healers, nurses, doctors, therapists, it doesn't make a difference. If you are in a position where you're working with people on their healing path, whether it's body, mind, or spirit, you yourself also need to make sure that you get yourself into a sense of balance and that you work to clear all that vibration. Because a lot of times you get subjected to a lot of negativity around you. You might have clients that every client that week is having just crappy things going on in their life, and they bring that vibration. And that's what our job is. Our job is to help you clear that vibration. So don't take this like, oh my God, they don't want us to come, because it's not we don't want you to be there. We want you to be there. What we are saying is that sometimes we don't always clear that vibration off, and it starts to bring us down. And we need to recharge and re-energize. And this card right here that we're looking at, and I'll flip it back over, the Mirror Garden upside down, is this reminder that, hey, you have not been taking care of yourself. Okay? And so it's time for us to really nurture and love who we are. So let's take a look again at that card and give ourselves a loving reminder. There we go. Mirror Garden. She's upside down. And it's, hey, love yourself. Olive juice, I love you. You are beautiful. Love those eyes. Your hair looks great. Your makeup's fleck, whatever fleck means. Somebody tell me what that means. It is anything with, that positive vibration. Okay, so I love this last card. This is the last card. And this is take charge with authority. So, baby, buckle up. Put your boots on, buckle up. We're getting ready to go for a ride. You are in control. You have this. You are the master of this. You are the mistress of this. Whichever way you want to look at it, I don't care. You have this. You got it. Every bit you have. Allie, we have this. We have nothing to worry about. Everything is in a good place. Everything's in a good place. Keep that in mind. Okay? So peace, love, and harmony. Let me come back over here so you can see my face. Peace, love, and harmony, folks. It's going to be fine. We're going to do great. This is a real spiritual time coming in. A lot of things that we're going to learn about ourselves, that we're going to learn about each other. And we are going to learn to be good people and move on, move up, move on, grow, do beautiful, cool, groovy things. That's what's so important about this time. So, take that into consideration. Good stuff happening, but you got to put a little bit of elbow grease into it. Put a little thought. Shift your perspectives a little bit so that you can get on board with where you're going on your own spiritual. Oh, you're fine, baby. Don't worry about that. So that you can get on your path and be fully confident in what you're doing. So peace, love, and harmony. I hope to see you guys very, very soon.